Hey, it's the Rican, and this is why I hate government. This is why I like to talk politics, but this is why I hate government and why I hate both parties. I dislike one party less than the other, but in actuality, this is why uh, they just both parties piss me off. Is these omnibus bills? They just piss me off because they're just you know, taking our money because it's our money, it's our tax money, and spending it on shit that we don't need. And we're $30 trillion in debt. Now, I understand, like, let's say, for example, well, here's one is it $14 billion went to Ukraine? It's going to go to Ukraine. We're $30 trillion in debt, and we're giving Ukraine $14 billion. We're not lending them $15 billion. We're giving it to them. So we're borrowing money to give to them. I'm not saying they don't need it, everything. You know what? I'm not going to go into the whole politics of that issue. But we're borrowing money to give to somebody else. Hear the craziness in that. Okay, we're taking on debt for somebody else's. Okay, and then why do I get so mad at this? I want you to see this. This is the actual text of the bill. Okay, this is the text. This is not me. I'm going to go all the way down. Here's the arrow. If you're watching, you could watch along with me. I'm going to bring this all the way down. Okay, here it goes. This was released on March 9th at 12:12 a.m. Right? Here's how many pages. 2,741 pages. Okay, let's go back. So 2,741 pages. Released at midnight on March 9th. It is currently, as of me making this video, March 10th, 3:50, 10 to 4. Okay. It's already passed. It's almost 3,000 pages. Who the hell reads 3,000 pages in what? Let's say a day? Okay. I know some speed readers, but God knows that a lot of these politicians are not speed readers. Okay. They're not the sharpest tools in the shed. But so, I mean, like I said, you go through this and you look and, okay, I understand it's a spending bill, but like I said, so the pass, it's $1.5 trillion with 13.6, 13.6, 14 billion to round up to Ukraine. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the politics of that, but we're borrowing money to give to them. Why are we not just lending it to them? Go, okay, you know what? We're going to lend you this money. We don't know if we're ever going to get it paid back, but to give it to them? No, that's bullshit. Okay. He goes here, the 2,700-page legislation, which now heads to the Senate, is the culmination of months of bicameral and bipartisan negotiations between top Democrats and Republicans. The details of the package, which funds federal agencies for the remainder of the fiscal year, were released early Wednesday ahead of the Friday deadline for Congress to pass legislation to avert a partial government shutdown. Let's see what they put as the details here. I'm just curious. Omnibus helps lower the cost of living for workers, creates American jobs. Yeah, okay. It's not going to help lower the cost of living for working families if we're still causing inflation by overspending. And this is why I hate both parties. You know what? Look, they put their pet projects into these bills because there's 3,000 pages, and they passed it in a day. Okay, they passed it in a day. So they'll put their bullshit pet projects, and then we have to pay for it. This is what pisses me off. Both parties do this. They'll both throw in, both members of the swap will throw their pet projects into these bills. Okay, you have Republicans who will put stuff that Democrats don't like, and Democrats who put stuff Republicans don't like. You know what? I just wish they would piecemeal these bills, and so people could see exactly what they're passing instead of passing these huge bills that they put everything into. It's freaking ridiculous. It's all the time. It's every year, all the time when they have to do a spending bill. This is what they do. Both parties, because right now the Dems are in control of the House, and this is what's going on. But it doesn't change when the Republicans are in control of the House. And why do I dislike the Democrats more? Because they're the ones that are saying they're going to give away free shit when nothing's free in life. That's why I get pissed off, because it's hard to go to win an election, when you have one side saying we're going to give you free shit, and we have the other side saying, well, we're going to give you a little bit less free shit. When really it should be like, why it's so hard is if you had a politician with some balls, they would just say, hey, listen, we're broke. We got to pay our bills. We're going to have to cut some. We're going to have to, tighten our pants and stop spending some money so we could pay off some of this debt that we have. Instead, they're okay with inflation. They're okay with inflation, as much as Biden and his administration are saying, no, we're going to try to get, they're going to say they're going to try to get inflation under control, but they don't care, because as long as they're inflating our money, that $30 trillion in debt that the U.S. is in is going to be paid in inflated money. And who pays? Not the working class. Not the, who gets to pay for it? The working class, the lower class, because all our prices go up on everything. Because right now, do the rich people, well-off people, do they care that the gas is at $5 a gallon? No, because it doesn't really affect them. But when you have to fill up your tank to go to work, and now instead of paying, let's say when it was $2 a gallon, they're paying $40 to fill up your tank. Now it's costing $80, $90 to fill up your tank. You just lost $50. And then they pass these bills. They don't give a shit. All he cares about right now, all this administration cares about is their Green New Deal. They just don't call it that because they know the negative stigma behind that. But right now he could pass, he could rescind his executive orders, pass Keystone. He could continue leases that he signed off, that he reneged on, that he closed those leases, okay, just because the fact they want to pass their green agenda. And it's like, you could do both. You could still keep producing oil and at the same time work toward cheaper green energy, work on sustainability. Nobody's saying that you can't do both, but the problem is they don't want to do both. They want this pain. So like that, people go, no, we need to go to electric. We can't even, like I talked in my previous video, we cannot even, if everybody went electric tomorrow, our power grid couldn't withstand it. You get rolling blackouts in California when there's a bad heat wave, rolling blackouts in Texas sometimes with a cold wave. But here we are, both parties passing these bills every damn spending cycle, every fiscal year. That's the word I was looking for. Every fiscal year, they do this bullshit. And this is why, there's always constant infighting, because they all want to put their special projects in here. They all want, there's stuff that both parties agree on, but what both parties use the leverage of the stuff they agree on to pass stuff that the other party doesn't. And what they're good at doing is they'll put stuff in a bill that needs to pass and then put stuff in it that people don't want to vote for, and they'll throw it in there instead of keeping it. Okay, let's just do what we agree on. No, we're just going to screw you guys, and we're going to put this stuff in that you don't want. But that's what goes on. And then they wonder why people are angry with them, why people get upset when they see this stuff. And then you got people who don't care because they're apathetic. They don't pay attention to this stuff, and they don't realize we're $30 trillion in debt. But that's what's going on. We're spending money we don't have, and it's much easier to win elections by keep deficit spending instead of going, we need to pull back before we fall off that cliff. But we're addicted to spending. That's the problem. America's addicted to spending. And, I'm afraid when that bubble pops, being an American, I'm afraid of when that bubble pops, because eventually it's going to have to pop if we don't get our spending in order. So, when you see politicians talking about they're promising free shit with your money, one, it's not free. Your tax dollars are paying for it. They're just bribing you with your own tax dollars. That's it. That's what they're doing. And you fall for it every single time. And that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about, because that just pissed me off. I'm just so tired of these damn omnibus bills. Every fiscal year that they threaten government shutdown because nobody wants to solve this fiscal crisis. They just want to keep kicking the can down the road till we're completely broke. That's it. That's it. I'll leave it there. I am the Ray Rican. You can follow me on YouTube and Rumble. You could interact with me on social media. I still don't know what's going on with Truth Social, so don't ask. So anyways, have a good one.